Hey Cam,
Yes.
I have a revolutionary idea for how to make a really good dog movie. Do you want to hear it? Yeah?
I
Nah?
I don't
Nah?
want to, but I'm here, so go ahead.
Alright.
I've already just watched Benji. I didn't have anything better to do today, so.
Alright, here's my idea. We're gonna have the dog not talk. Woo! Woo! Just hooting and hollering over
Give
here.
this man a fucking Oscar!
Dogs, they're coming. They're coming your way. They'll be here soon.
Every now and then there comes a star who melts even the hardest heart. A hero who charms children of all ages. Walt Disney has brought back to us one such star. A canine hero whose adventures in the wilderness make up an epic story. Benji in The Hunted.
So Benji the Hunted was okay because of that? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's literally what made this movie good, right? If they had a stupid fucking voice actor over this dog, it would have sucked ass.
This movie has... So, this is a 90-minute runtime movie. I think technically 89, but we round up here.
It was 88 minutes, yeah. It said 88 minutes when I looked at the script thing.
80 minutes of that is dog not talking, nobody talking, no
80
dialogue.
minutes? No, that's not accurate. It's 85 at least. There's no way. There are less than 500 words in the entire script.
That's true.
Less than 500. There's no way that it took them 8 minutes to do 500 words, dude. It's like, there's gotta be, like, no talking? There's gotta be, 3 minutes?
Maybe 3 minutes?
Maybe 5. Maybe 5.
Every human that was on set did one take in one location, and then they were done.
Yes.
That's it. We're done now. This movie has a lot of "we're done now," actually.
The movie ends on a "we're done now." Welcome to Rough Cuts, by the way. My name is Ilyon or Cam, and this is my wonderful co-host,
Hello.
Boyks. Renowned joke criminal.
I have gone to prison for jokes. Anyway,
Came out with that slide whistle, but
yeah,
this movie is it exists. It's fine.
We watched Benji the Hunted after watching Oh Heavenly
Yes.
Dogs. We're like, well, we need to get into the Benji-verse, right? Like, there are multiple Universal... Well, this isn't a Universal movie. Is this 20th Century Fox? I don't...
This is a Disney movie.
It's Disney?
Fool.
Okay. Well, there's multiple universes to keep in mind. The Benji-verse is technically in the Disney-verse, which is technically in the Marvel-verse, which is also technically in the Final Fantasy-verse, which is also technically in the Kingdom Hearts-verse. So what I'm saying is that Benji is not only a Disney princess, but is also a superhero.
The worst is over. It's all downhill from here.
and also whatever the fuck Kingdom Hearts is.
I was gonna say, do we get a Benji Keyblade? Like,
we need a Benji
Benji with the Keyblade to fight off Xehanort?
Look, if
we
don't have enough time in this single podcast to try and figure out what the fuck is happening in Kingdom Hearts. That's just not happening.
Yeah, I wasted an afternoon on Benji the Hunted, but I cannot possibly be bothered to deal with Kingdom Hearts.
No.
This movie is very competently done. It has a lot of big budget stuff, honestly. I was really surprised. Because it feels like, looking at just, like, the box art and knowing that it's, like, the 4th or 5th or something Benji movie, like, just Benji stuff has been going on for a while.
Right.
I kind of expected that it was... I didn't realize this was a theatrical release. I expected it to be, like, a straight-to-VHS home video kind of... No. Like,
this came out the same time as Full Metal Jacket, and...
Yes.
Prime movie critic Roger Ebert said that it was way better than Full Metal Jacket, I believe. So
he was right. And this is Roger Ebert's favorite movie.
To be 6 years old, 8 years old, to see a movie that's 90 minutes long, only has about 100 words of dialogue. It's about a dog in the wilderness, beautiful photography, those cute little cougar cubs, which you mentioned, the magnificence of the other animals, the adventures, the little kittens crossing the stream, the very shot you pointed out. This movie is a movie that kids would really enjoy.
You know what they should see? Roger, my rebuttal of this film is you're wrapping yourself in the flag of children, and I'm saying go see The Black Stallion instead. There's a film with little dialogue, so much better.
I'm not wrapping myself in the flag of children. You're wrapping yourself in the flag of the sophisticated film critic who's seen it all.
No, boredom with Benji running.
I don't think that any child is going to be bored by this movie, and indeed, I found the nature photography to be very interesting myself.
I recommend film for kids that are good. The Black Stallion is a great film. This is garbage.
I recommend films for kids that are bad, but I'll tell you what, whether it's good or bad, I think kids will really enjoy it.
Hey, listen, this movie is cute as shit. It's fine. Like, I liked this movie. This movie's okay. They did a good job of, like, they just kind of let Benji act, and Benji is incredible in this. So it's not Benji either, though.
No.
So Benji was always a dog named Higgins, which that was the original Benji actor. And then Benjean was the daughter of Higgins, and Benjean is the dog that we had in Oh Heavenly Dog that was doing, like, dialing on a rotary phone and all kinds of really cool tricks like that. And it's the same dog this time. It's Benjean. And she rules. She's a really good actress. Like, that's incredibly well-trained dog. There's a lot of neat stunts, and, like, it's very expressive. There's a lot of scenes that are done where you can just kind of, they use the dog's facial expressions and camera shots to convey a lot of, like, emotions and ideas and things. It does a good job of that.
And in the next Benji movie, they hired Benjineering. Famed Loading Ready Run actor. It's fine.
That is some fucking deep cut shit, man. For what joke? What was that? You gotta.
Well, they have Benji.
Our audience is niche enough, okay?
They have Benji.
You can't just keep digging
they have
us into
Benji, and now they have Benjineering. That's just a logical progression. Leave me alone. I'm going to tweet that motherfucker.
Are you saying that Benjineering is kind of cute like a puppy? I'll give you that. Oh man, this movie is. It's kind of exactly what you expect out of it. It's like the prototype of a Disney, like, dog adventure movie where, like, when I saw Benji the Hunted and it was Benji leading a bunch of cougar cubs through the woods while being hunted by a wolf.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, they're probably going to have no voices. Thank God they didn't. And it's just going to be like, like you said, there's going to be like a sad moment of like one of the animals getting hurt or killed, and then lots of like Benji climbing mountains, carrying cubs, and all that kind of stuff. And that's the movie.
This movie
exactly what you expect.
Feels like going on an afternoon hike instead of watching a movie, which it shouldn't, because there should be more happening. But it feels like that, and then you're like, oh, look, there's that trained animal in the woods. Oh, it's adorable.
Yeah, this movie is... I don't want to call it boring, but it's not exciting, if that makes sense. It just kind of exists.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like, it's just there. It's exactly what you expect. So it's a very chill kind of movie experience, and that it's a lot of cute animals like walking through the woods for like it's, as we said, there's 3 minutes of dialogue in a almost 90-minute movie, and the rest of it is dog and other animals walking through the woods, and that's what you get. Like, it's got a lot of really cute shots. Benji's cute as hell. These cubs are incredibly cute.
The cubs are really cute. Especially the one that got eaten by that eagle.
Oh my god.
Oh shit, that eagle's back!
Now, an eagle will absolutely fucking take those cubs.
Oh yeah. It'll also give away its position.
Eagles don't give no shit. Nothing fucks with an eagle, man.
Oh, that's a stuffed animal. Yeah, that looks fucking weird. Well, anyway, they killed that cub, so that's one for me, fucker. Yeah.
Did you want to be right?
No.
Jesus Christ.
It was so graphic too. They showed the eagle carry it off to the nest, just biting into its neck and ripping out like, oh, come on,
feeding
Disney.
all of its young with
Disney.
it. Yeah,
it was like a 20-minute
really
scene.
Strange. They went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah,
those were
like,
real animals.
Of the 90-minute runtime, this is definitely a lot more than any of the dialogue. Like it's a lot longer than that. It's really graphic.
That eagle though,
it's
really good actor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, fantastic actor. Yeah. It really committed to the role of dismembering that cute little cub.
Oh my god. They shoot a cougar in this movie.
Oh.
Well, shoot a cougar.
Yes,
they do like the classic Bambi opening where the mom dies and then the kittens, I guess, are taken in by Benji, who washes up on shore from a fishing boat that, I guess, capsized. I think that's the plot,
Yeah,
right?
there was some kind of thing at the start, like this is almost all of the dialogue was right at the beginning where they have Benji's owner being interviewed and he's like, oh no, like Benji's gone. The sea was rough and I think that he's gone. He went overboard and that's the beginning. And then, he just washes up on shore in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. Like at the beginning of the movie, he washes up on shore, but I wasn't sure. I said shore a lot.
If it was an island.
Yeah, I wasn't positive if it was an island or if it was the mountains. Because they sort of just go from a beach to the middle of a rainforest, and there was no transition. Yeah. And it was just like,
They kind of don't explain that, but I was fine with it. It just kind of... He just washes up on shore, and it's easy to assume that means it's an island, but it seems like it was just, Pacific Northwest, came back to shore somewhere in... This was Oregon?
Yeah. This is filmed in Oregon in the rainforest. I forget exactly which rainforest, but pretty classic location to film. It looks like every single Twilight movie.
Yes. Yeah. It's just like lots of misty forest.
Yeah. We were half expecting the ring rates to show up.
Oh my god. There's a scene of that though. Like they have to hide underneath a log from the wolf thing, and it's very, very reminiscent of that style. It's like I said, because it follows a lot of tropes. Like it's just kind of a very standard film, but it doesn't do anything wrong. Like that's why it just kind of exists. That's what I mean, is that there's nothing that I can really look at this film and say like, wow, what the fuck? That was such a stupid choice. Like there's nothing like that. But there's also nothing where I'm like, boy, that was sure incredible how they did this. Well, okay, there is one scene.
Well, is it...
The way that they threw that wolf off the cliff.
The ragdoll? Yeah.
Yeah, that ruled. It was just like the legs flying everywhere. Benji's totally leading it to the cliff. Man, this wolf doesn't deserve to die, though, right? Yeah, that's totally the same spot. Yep. Fuck him up, Benji! Oh, Jesus! Oh, Jesus!
Oh, no.
Oh, that...
Well...
I didn't like that.
No, that sucked.
At the end of the movie, just a real quick thing. There's not a lot of plot to go over, but Benji's being chased by this wolf while he's trying to rescue these cougar cubs. And this wolf is chasing him, and they kind of set it up beforehand because he ran through a bush trying to get away from another animal and almost fell off of a cliff, which was the most tense scene in this movie and gave me a horrible vertigo. But he climbs back up, like Benji gets back out. And then he leads so it's like, okay, yeah, he's gonna throw this wolf off the fucking cliff. And sure enough, 5 minutes later, the wolf starts chasing him and he leads to the same spot. And then the wolf doesn't like go through the bush and fall off the cliff. The wolf like catapults over the bush.
It's like they fucking yeeted him off the cliff.
Yeah, they take this, like, ragdoll stuffed wolf that's got, like, its legs just flopping everywhere, and, like, they throw it down this cliff, and they film it, like, they hold on it for a good, like, 30 seconds as it, like, bounces down the rocks off this cliff. And it's just hilarious, because it's just so, like, it's so obviously not the wolf, and it's just so wacky with, like, how far it launched. Like,
yeah.
They must have had, like, 3 people grab this thing and, like, swing it a bunch of times to get the momentum to chuck it off this cliff.
They had to hike that thing up there, too. Like, there's a ton of shots in this where they definitely hiked to a location, shot, like, 5 scenes there because they weren't going to hike to another one, and then went to a completely separate location in the forest for shooting. That's fairly common, actually, in this film. There's the scene with the mountain in the background that shows up like 5 times. There's the Misty Woods location that shows up like 5 times. The river that's 5 times. They get a lot of really cool waterfall shots and like running water shots, which are nice. Some like areas that the dog can hike up easily.
That shot that you're talking about with the mountain in the background, like it's just this panorama.
Yeah, the Sound of Music shot.
Peak and it's looking out over a valley. Yeah. Like it's like they're on top of a peak looking over a valley. That shot's incredible.
It is a good shot.
They used it again. It's a really good shot.
But they used it a little too much. If I was gonna be nitpicky.
Yes, I agree. Yeah. I agree that it probably starts getting overused, but it was a nice location. And like you said, they probably had to hike a lot of shit up there to do it. So they're like, no, we're not. We're doing as much of this as we can in this movie. We're not hiking it to another mountain to get a different shot. Fuck that.
Can we talk for a second about how this helicopter has like GPS on this dog?
Oh my god, yeah.
What the fuck?
There was some plot contrivance for sure.
Like, okay, so Benji gets lost in the forest, and Benji's owner goes looking for it in a helicopter. And every single time... Okay, just to be clear, Benji is literally wandering around in the forest. There is no direction. Yes. There's tree cover everywhere. And this helicopter is always flying overhead at the exact location that Benji is at. All the time.
Oh yeah, like directly over his head. It is every 5 minutes this helicopter shows up in this film and is like scaring away all the animals. They always have like all the other animals running away and Benji looking pensively upwards.
Yeah.
Because there's kind of supposed to be this dramatic tension of Benji wants to get rescued and just go home because Benji's tired of all this shit. But also Benji found these abandoned cougar cubs and wants to get them safe and home, right?
Right.
That's kind of the narrative plot of this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so every 5 minutes this helicopter is showing up and the owner is like, Benji! Which is another half of the actual dialogue for this movie. It's just like the owner yelling Benji out of the side of a helicopter, or eventually like they land the helicopter right next to Benji and he's calling for Benji, which is amazing. Just the
it
coincidence
just doesn't make
of it is
sense.
Something.
It's just so fucking convenient.
It's absolute nonsense. By the end of the movie, so the whole thing is that Benji finds these cubs. Hunter shoots their mom. So they do the Bambi opening, like you said. Benji finds the cubs. He has a crisis of conscience. Like, they actually do a good job of showing these things. It's funny. Like, this dog is set up as having, like, this whole crisis where it kind of goes to abandon the cubs. But then it's like, oh, God, and kind of goes back and waffles back and forth because, like, one of the cubs comes out and, like, tries to get his attention. So he feels bad and goes back. And then he's leading them through the woods trying to find another cougar that he saw to give these cubs to and let it take care of them. And a wolf starts hunting them. And that's just kind of it.
The wolf's just doing it because it's a jerk. There's no reason.
Yeah.
The wolf's just a major jerk for no reason.
The wolf's just a piece of shit. Yeah, there's no reason for the wolf to be like that other than they just needed, like, some kind of narrative tension. So this wolf just wants to fuck up Benji. I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, like, right at the end, like, for the helicopter thing, it's great. Benji takes the cubs to the top of this mountain, throws the wolf off of a cliff with incredible force, catapults it off of a cliff, and builds an entire trebuchet. It's really quite something.
There's a Frenchman on the castle bopping the top of his helmet, going...
Yeah, and Benji just leads the wolf inside, throws it over.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible. But then he drops these cubs off with a new mom, and he goes and lays down on the side of the peak, and in the background you hear, and the helicopter comes up, and it just ends the movie. Like, the helicopter just fucking knows instantly. Benji calls him up on his cell phone.
Yeah, I mean, Benji does have a cell phone. That's known. We saw that. He pulled out the radio antenna on it, called over, Benji ready for pickup. Right at the end.
It's why Benji had to get Benji for extraction.
Yeah.
It's why he had to get to the top of the mountain. He needed better service. He had to get to a
But they
high point.
cut the movie before the helicopter shoots the missiles at him. So. Oh, he did use
Holy
email.
shit.
This.
Yeah, he just fucking, yo, come pick me up. I'm done.
Yeah, we're done now. What?
Wow,
You're not even gonna
send.
What? What?
That just ends.
Just
Holy
end.
Shit.
It's over?
Yeah, send.
You're
Send.
just what?
Send.
Then
That's send.
next movie.
Send. It's done.
Because it turns out Benji was a nom the whole time.
Yeah, he was. Well, that's
Benji
why he was
the
hunted.
Hunted
The
becomes
helicopter.
Benji the Hunter in the sequel. And then we get, a Rambo Benji.
Where he goes home, but he can't really
Can't
blend in
adjust anymore. Like, the dog food just doesn't taste
civilian
the
life.
same,
Yeah.
flashbacks.
To when the eagle takes a
Yeah,
cub
when the
away.
eagle ate that cub very
Oh.
graphically on screen. Yeah. Not a good time for Benji.
Man, why do they always do that in Disney films? Why do they always kill an animal?
Well, they offset it with the blep scenes. There's a lot of bleps.
That's true.
There's
There's a lot of very cute cougar cubs with their tongues sticking out, peeking out of holes and stuff. It's really great. There's a lot of eye candy in this movie that way. Not just the cute animals, but just nice panoramic shots and stuff. Like you said, it's more like going on a hike than it is watching a movie.
It really is. It's weird.
They do a lot of shots of wildlife. I'm actually impressed with. There was no B-roll, really.
No,
I don't.
They shot
think
everything.
I noticed
yeah.
any. They shot everything, and there was a lot of wildlife shots. They got raccoons and deer and foxes and bears and just all kinds of stuff. They just constantly had shots of all these animals out in the woods just doing things, and Benji just kind of interacting with them in various ways. He leads the wolf into the bear at one point.
Yeah.
There's a clever scene of when the wolf first shows up. Benji finds a hunter in the woods, the hunter that shot the cub's mom. And we thought that it was just the typical dog thing of it getting wrapped up. The hunter catches Benji, wraps a rope around him, and ties him up and is going okay, well, I'll find you a way back out. I'll rescue you. Benji doesn't want to be rescued. Benji wants to save these cubs, so he's trying to get away. And the wolf shows up also. So this is the first scene of that. And he wraps around the campfire a bunch of things that are around it, a chair and a wood log that was for sitting or something like that. Just a couple different things that are around this campfire. And it kind of feels like the typical thing that dogs do, where they always wrap themselves up around something like idiots.
Yeah.
But it was clever because...
But it had a purpose.
When the wolf shows up again... Yeah. When the wolf shows up again, Benji, barks at it, and it runs at Benji, and it has to go across this loop, and then Benji runs away, and it tightens it, and there's, a trap, and almost catches the wolf and fucks it up, which is, great. That's really cool. It was a neat idea, and it made Benji seem very smart. They had a couple of little things like that were kind of nice. There's not a lot in this film, though.
Do you think they wrote that or ad-libbed that? That's the real question.
I think they wrote that. I think that a lot of this... this film is really competent. There's nothing really to...
Okay.
You can nitpick at it because
it's competently
just so typical,
done, but it's, not good.
No,
If that makes
it's just
sense.
because it's super safe.
Yeah.
It's just exactly what you think it is, right?
Well, it's not exactly what you think it is. There's 3 things in this movie that are not what you think it is. There's buddy cop music constantly.
Okay, yeah. This is super 80s. Like, the music in this, the score in this has been, like you said, very 80s.
We need this music to be our intro music.
Ooh! Oh, man, you got sex!
Ooh! I Can Only Get So Erect movie. Calm down. Oh, it's done.
I can't.
There's tons of
the
chases
cougar
with
is
bunny
not
hops.
actually a 40-year-old woman. The cougar
Unfortunately,
is
unfortunately, when they meant cougar hunting, it was not at all what I was expecting, and I was very upset.
I was excited to get into this one.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
I mean, do I know what you mean?
No, probably not.
Oh, and the real point of the movie is that parents need to take responsibility for their kids, and that adoption's okay. That's the plot.
Sure.
That cougar does not want to take responsibility and keeps running away from those children, and that's bad thing. That's bad. Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. Benji just tracks down the other.
I mean, I guess.
I don't know.
It's
cute. It's cute. It's a cute film. I liked it. It had, like, I didn't love it, but it was, with what we watched, this was perfectly serviceable.
I guess. We spent more of the movie talking about hiking in the woods than actually talking about the movie.
Sure, because there's nothing going on in the movie. It's just lots of cute animals. But hey, if you just want to sit down and watch cute animals, this is 1987, right?
Sure.
So, there wasn't YouTube, there wasn't the internet. If you wanted to watch cute animal videos, you had to go out and just watch Benji the Hunted. This is the exact, like, audience for scrolling through YouTube channels, just trying to find, like, various shots of cute cougar cubs. Like, that's all that it is. And, like, a cute dog doing a couple of little tricks here and there. That's this movie. It's that equivalent.
I'm going to read off a list of movies that came out in 1987.
Well, we already know one of them.
We know one of them is Full Metal Jacket. I want you to tell me...
Full Metal Jacket, which Roger Ebert didn't like as much as he liked
Benji the Hunted. Yes, that's an incredibly important fact.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I have many dogs. There are many dogs. There are many dogs like it, but this one is mine.
All right. I want you to rank Benji the Hunted after I read this list, okay? So, Princess Bride, Dirty Dancing, Full Metal Jacket, Predator, Spaceballs...
Oh my god, this is kind of like Predator.
Lethal Weapon, Hellraiser,
Benji,
RoboCop, and I guess Harry and the Hendersons?
Oh, this is probably better than Harry and the Hendersons.
Maybe? Oh, the live action Masters of the Universe movie came out this year too. Oh, damn.
Listen, I remember watching Harry and the Hendersons as a kid and not loving it. And I can't imagine that I would like it now, so I don't know.
Here's a good one. This one's actually very comparable to Benji and the Hunted, so it makes sense that they came out in the same year.
Predator?
Evil Dead 2.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's basically the same movie.
I mean, you don't have... There's that graphic eagle scene that we talked about, you know.
Yeah.
Almost the same.
And they're both in the woods. And...
They're both in the woods, both in cabins. Absolutely.
This makes sense. Beverly Hills Cop came out this year, too. That makes perfect sense. They probably got the same
That's why they had the music in this movie.
Wait.
The music in this movie perfectly matches Beverly Hills Cop.
Can you imagine if they replaced Benji with Eddie Murphy? In this movie?
The worst thing is that I can, because that's most of the movies that we watch, boys.
I know.
There was a review that you were reading on this that was like, they were like, you know, this movie doesn't have a lot going on. They really should have had a live or animated companion to Benji to talk over him.
Yeah.
And God, whoever did that review needs to be yeeted off the mountain like that wolf was.
That was from
the stupidest
LA
thing.
Times, 1987, June review of the film.
Fuck that person.
This movie made
I can just imagine how much better this movie would be if Benji had an owl following him around going, "Oh, Benji, you gotta save the cubs." Like,
the real problem is
better.
that we as the audience can't understand the dog's feelings unless we're told. And that's because we're dumb. We're stupid.
Fair.
And if we're not told how to feel, then how am I supposed to watch a movie?
what's the point of even watching? Yeah, I mean, I was never told how Benji felt in this movie, and that was really distracting because I just got lost. Like, Benji was watching this eagle take away the young cub, and he's barking and running around after it, and I
just couldn't figure it out.
Just like happy,
Yeah,
like just excited.
I'm like,
maybe like thought
somebody
it was
off
cool big
screen
bird
holding
grabbed
up
dog.
a treat. Who knows? It's so hard to
Yeah,
tell.
it could have been anything.
You know what? That's just
God.
like our listeners. I'm going to tell our listeners right now to like this podcast.
Yeah,
you should be happy right now and enjoying this. There.
This is how you should feel about our podcast. It's good. We're nice people and we're good boys, just like the dogs in this movie. And that's how you should accept this particular podcast.
Yeah, and just like this movie, then we're done. Mm-hmm. That's it. This is such a short episode.
Did they have a warning, or not a warning? Did they have a disclaimer at the beginning of this movie or at the end?
Oh, about
animals?
It
said that no animals were harmed in this film. Because I feel like they didn't.
No,
and I feel
don't
that's
think they did.
accurate. Because, like, they fucking drugged that cougar, right?
Oh god, yeah, they did. That looked awful. They also like threw Benji into the ocean and almost slammed it into a rock.
Yeah,
at the beginning.
Benji like swimming through the ocean looked a little scary.
That looked like that dog was gonna get taken out to sea, and I was not excited about that.
And they threw a wolf off of a cliff, boys.
Yeah, a real live actual ragdoll wolf.
And they let an eagle eat a cub.
Well, I mean, that was just for spectacle. To be fair.
Yeah, well, okay, that's fair. I mean, birds gotta eat.
Yeah.
God, that sucked. I was really sad when they did that. I liked those little cute coups.
You kept saying, "Oh, it'll come back, right?" It was like watching.
I
watching a small child watch the movie. Like, Dad, is the cub gonna be okay?
I wanted them to pull some Disney bullshit and save the cub.
No, that cub's fucking dead.
That cub was real fucking dead. Yeah.
Just like that cougar at the beginning of the movie that had ketchup on it.
All right, so I think that we're basically done the podcast. I want to get into some viewer emails. We talked about how we have an email for the podcast, so I just wanted to go into them really, really quickly. I have one from our fan here, Podbean, that says, join us for our Promote Your Podcast webinar. So it says, hi there, you've now started your podcast and want to get into as many ears as possible. Oh, ew. No, I don't actually.
Ew.
But this viewer apparently has a lot of ideas about how we can promote our podcast and what steps to grow and develop it. So that's an interesting one. So thank you very much to our number one fan, Podbean, for that email this week. Appreciate it.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah.
There's also Sticker Mule is another fan who's helped us and said that we can get 50 circle labels now for $29. So they're helping us out finding some really good deals on some stickers online. So thank you for that as well. Next time, send us some more dog things.
Yeah.
I may have signed us up for some dog
and I got an email from Free Trial Bot that says, is this the end of Viagra with banana emojis?
Oh, wow. Cool. Thank you. I mean, it's interesting to know about whether there's the end of Viagra when we're talking about all these cougars.
Yeah,
so.
Very important email. I appreciate it.
Important stuff. Thank you all to all of our fans who helped out sending us emails this week. So that ends the email portion of our podcast.
And now we have the fan art. We have the fan art portion real quick.
Okay.
All right, that was the fan art portion.
There you go. That's fan art. Thank you for listening to our audio podcast. God fucking damn it! I knew you were.
Do I want to rate Benji? Okay, so here's my take on Benji. Benjineering.
Yeah.
Yes, I have a hot take on Benjine in this movie, and that is this.
I'm listening because I'm interested. I have my own take on Benji.
This dog,
and I feel like I'm going to disagree with you.
Really? Okay, this dog is 500% better without Chevy Chase's voice, which I think raises the rating.
Okay, no, yes, holy shit, yes, oh god, yeah. Okay, no, I definitely, well, I might disagree with you. It might be a lot more than 500%. how can you put a price on not having Chevy Chase in this film?
I mean, I would pay them to not have Chevy Chase in this film, and I think that's what happened after Oh Heavenly Dog. So
that might be the latter half of Chevy Chase's career, as people are paying him not to show up on set and walk into their films. If I was in Hollywood, I would make sure that I sent checks to Chevy Chase every day to have him not show up on anything that I filmed.
We know that we just recently started staying at home, but can you just never leave your home, Chevy? Thank you.
But Benji, this dog is incredibly well trained.
Yeah, this dog does some real, actual,
really nice
acting, which is weird.
Yeah.
Not only is the dog one of the only actors in the film, but definitely the best, and that's super weird.
Once again, yeah. It's same as in the last one where we had Benji, where it was Oh Heavenly Dog. The only person that could have acted on a level of the dog in that movie was Omar Sharif, who, yeah, I'd hope so. He's, gotten nominated for several Oscars.
Yeah.
The guy's good. So, yeah, no, the dog's so expressive. It's weird, how well they film it and how well the dog just kind of acts things out. There's a lot of shots that just display a lot of emotion right away, just from the way that the dog looks. It's really well done that way. This dog is impressive as hell. You can understand why, even if the movie is pretty standard, and I'm sure all the Benji movies kind of feel like this, you can understand why, if they had these dogs trained that well and they did this kind of acting, that back in the days that this really did numbers, right? That spawned such a big franchise, because the dog's fun to watch. It's a really cute dog that does some really interesting tricks and is incredibly expressive. So, as a child, I would have been enamored with this dog.
There's two ways we can end the podcast. One is just by putting the word woof up on screen. And then...
That's the way every movie should
That's
end.
it. This movie made $22 million off of 500 words. Woof. Yes!
Woof! Woof! Do they end all of the Benji movies with woof?
I don't know.
Is that a thing?
Woof.
Woof.
It's a cougar movie. Woof. 2 would be a supercut of us going, "Aw," at the animals, because they're so cute.
Dude,
I think that's what we gotta do.
Checked out. I was the only one on. It's gonna be a bunch of shots of you just sitting there not saying anything.
It was mostly me doing nothing and heckling the movie.
Yeah, you heckled this movie a lot. I needed this movie. Yeah. Times are tough. We always tell you to avoid movies. This is a movie where if you just want to have an afternoon where you just sit back, chill, forget about everything, you don't have to worry about watching anything that's important or makes you feel anything, and it's just kind of there. This is a good way to just tune your brain off and watch cute dogs.
Yeah, if you want to be dead inside, Benji the Hunted.
Absolutely. See, okay.
But why?
That's why I had to tell you to go back. It's so worth it. That's great. They're fans like you. They like the slide whistle in their recorder.